This is what discipline actually looks like, not motivation.
Epictetus asked this question every time he felt worried. Epictetus taught one idea above all others.
He said every event in your life falls into one of two categories: things you control and things you do not. Your opinions, your choices, your reactions, those are yours. The weather, other people's behavior, your reputation, your health, whether your flight is delayed, whether someone likes you, those are not.
Watch the first line again. It explains everything.
This is the mindset shift that separates the two of you.
The Stoic habit that Wall Street risk managers still use today. The Stoics had a practice they called premeditatio malorum.
Premeditation of evils.
Before beginning any important endeavor, they would deliberately imagine everything that could go wrong.
Not as pessimism. As preparation.
A general planning a campaign would spend hours imagining his army surrounded, his supply lines cut, his officers dead. Not to fill himself with dread.
Send this to someone who needs it. This is the mindset shift that separates the two of you. He could afford anything.
He gave it up for something money could never buy. Before he founded Stoicism, Zeno of Citium was a successful merchant who dealt in one of the most valuable commodities of the ancient world, a rare purple dye extracted from sea snails, so precious it was worth more than its weight in silver and reserved for royalty. Zeno was wealthy by any measure, his ships carrying fortunes across the Mediterranean.
Send this to someone who needs it.
This single idea will change how you see everything. He had one chance to save his life.
He refused it. Cato the Younger was Julius Caesar's greatest enemy.
When Caesar won the civil war and marched toward the city of Utica, everyone around Cato begged him to surrender.
Caesar had already offered full pardon. All Cato had to do was ask for it.
His friends said, "He is generous, he will forgive you, you can live."
Save this. Follow Stoic Edge daily.
This single idea will change how you see everything.
If you do number 3, you are stronger than most people alive.
Mental strength is not about never feeling pain.
The Stoics taught that it is about how you respond to it. Here are 6 signs you are mentally stronger than you think. 1. You can sit alone with your own thoughts without needing constant distraction. Most people cannot survive 10 minutes without reaching for their phone. That's the kind of discipline nobody talks about. Send this to someone who needs it.
This single idea will change how you see everything.
Most people do number 6 every single day without realizing it.
The Stoics built their entire philosophy around discipline, and part of that was knowing what not to do.
Here are 7 things a true Stoic never does.
1. They never worry about things outside their control. The weather, other people's opinions, the past. A Stoic spends zero energy on what they cannot change.
2. They never seek revenge. That's the kind of discipline nobody talks about. Watch the first line again. It explains everything.
Marcus Aurelius said, "Very little is needed to make a happy life, it is all within yourself, in your way of thinking." You have been sold the lie that happiness requires more money, more things, more achievements. But the Stoics discovered the opposite. A happy life needs surprisingly little once you fix the one thing that actually controls it, your own mind. The person with a grateful, disciplined mind is content with little.
The person with a restless mind is miserable with everything.
It was never about the stuff.
Read that again. Follow for daily Stoic wisdom.
Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we can listen twice as much as we speak."
The loudest person in the room is rarely the wisest.
Strength does not need to announce itself.
When you speak less, 3 things happen.
You learn more, you reveal less, and people start leaning in to hear you.
Silence is not weakness, it is control. The person who masters their own tongue is rarely controlled by anyone else. Read that again. Follow for daily Stoic wisdom.
This single idea will change how you see everything.
Stoics deliberately imagine losing everything. Here is why.
The Stoics practiced something that sounds strange at first. They called it negative visualization. Every morning, they would sit quietly and imagine losing the things they valued most.
Their home destroyed. Their money gone. The people they loved, no longer there. Not as a way to create fear.
As a way to destroy it.
Because most of us walk through life taking everything for granted. Save this. Follow Stoic Edge daily.
Marcus Aurelius said, "Look within is the fountain of good, and it will ever bubble up if you will ever dig." You keep searching outside yourself for peace, in the next purchase, the next relationship, the next achievement.
But the Stoics knew the source was always within. The calm you are chasing is not out there waiting to be found, it is in here waiting to be uncovered. Stop digging through the world for what only ever grew inside you. Dig there instead. Save this one. Follow Stoic Edge for daily wisdom. Most people never learn this until it is too late. He owned nothing. He controlled everything. Epictetus was born a slave. His master once twisted his leg to test whether he would show pain. Epictetus looked at him calmly and said, "You are going to break it." The master twisted harder. The bone snapped. Epictetus said, "Did I not tell you it would break?" He felt the pain. But he refused to give his master what he wanted. And that's the line I needed to hear too. Tag someone who needs this today. You are about to hear the sentence that fixes everything. Number 7 feels harmless, but it is destroying your discipline. The Stoics believe that weakness is not something you are born with, it is something you build through small daily habits. Here are 7 habits that secretly make you weak. 1. Needing comfort at all times. The Stoics deliberately practiced discomfort, cold, hunger, hardship, so that comfort never became a cage. 2. Blaming others for your situation. Tag someone who needs this today. This is the one thing weak people never do. Once you hear number 4, you will never unhear it. The Stoics taught us to judge people by their actions, not their words, because words are cheap and fake people know exactly what to say. Here are 5 things fake people always say. 1. I am just being honest. This is almost always said right before they say something cruel they wanted an excuse to say. Real honesty does not need a disclaimer. Easier said than done, but still true. Send this to someone who needs it. The Stoic core: you have authority over one thing, and that is yourself. Master that and you have mastered everything that matters. You cannot control the economy, other people, the past, or how your story ends. The list of what is outside your power is almost endless. But there is one thing fully yours, completely, always, your own thoughts and choices. The Stoics poured all their energy into that one thing and let the rest go. Master yourself, and you have mastered the only kingdom you were ever actually given. Keep this one close. Follow for more. The Stoics figured this out centuries before we did. A Navy pilot crashed in Vietnam with one book in his memory. James Stockdale was a United States Navy pilot when his plane was shot down over Vietnam in 1965. As he parachuted toward the ground he thought, I am leaving the world of technology and entering the world of Epictetus. He had spent years studying Stoic philosophy. He was about to find out if it actually worked. That's the kind of discipline nobody talks about. Send this to someone who needs it. You are about to hear the sentence that fixes everything. There is a level beyond acceptance that turns every hardship into fuel. The Stoics taught acceptance of what we cannot change, but the deepest among them pointed towards something even more powerful. The Roman Stoics spoke of a love of fate, the idea that you should not merely tolerate what happens to you, but actively embrace it as exactly what you needed. This is a staggering demand. Easier said than done, but still true. Save this. Follow Stoic Edge daily. Seneca said, "The time to prepare is not when the storm arrives, but long before it." Hard times do not announce themselves. The job lost, the loss, the betrayal, they come without warning. The Stoics built strength in the calm so they would have it in the chaos. Do not wait for the crisis to start becoming strong. The discipline you build today is the armor you will be grateful for on the day everything goes wrong. Save this one. Follow Stoic Edge for daily wisdom. I wish someone told me this years ago. The most powerful man on earth used this thought to stay humble every single day. Marcus Aurelius held more power than almost any human being who has ever lived. He commanded legions, controlled vast wealth, and held the fate of millions in his hands. Power like that has corrupted countless rulers throughout history, filling them with arrogance and the belief that they are somehow above other people. Rewatch the first 3 seconds. You'll catch it. Seneca said, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." You are not short on time. You are short on focus. Hours vanish into scrolling, worrying, and pleasing people who do not matter. Seneca watched rich men beg for one more year on their deathbeds, men who had thrown away decades. Your time is the only thing you can never earn back. Spend it like it is running out, because it is. Save this one. Follow Stoic Edge for daily wisdom. The Stoics figured this out centuries before we did. Marcus Aurelius did number 1 before he spoke to anyone. How you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day, and the Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. Here are 5 things to do every morning like a Stoic. 1. Before you touch your phone, remind yourself of what is in your control today and what is not. Marcus Aurelius did this before he spoke to a single person. Send this to someone who needs it. Follow for daily wisdom.